Don't we all want to be a little bit more creative? But the problem is, I think most of us don't even know anything about creativity. And why should we? Like, nothing in our lives teaches us about creativity. On the contrary, we are taught in school to follow the rules and never break them and follow a straight line. That's why I started researching creativity and started making this series right here. If you haven't already, I really suggest you go and look at the first video. There we talked about creativity models and how we can really define creativity because everyone has a different view on it. And today we're going to look at how knowledge can really hinder us in our creativity if we don't look out. And in the end, I'm going to tell you the really crazy side effects that come by avoiding this trap. So without any more distractions, let's get into it. Okay, so why is knowledge so dangerous? Well, every time we gather knowledge, either consciously or unconsciously, it comes with a set of rules, right? When I'm a beginner and I'm trying to learn art, maybe I'll start with anatomy, right? And I'll go and watch a lot of videos and they're gonna tell me their systems, how they draw, and their rules, right? Now, as a beginner, I take all of those rules and I implement them myself. And this is the critical point. I implement them myself, but to truly be creative, you also have to learn to detach yourself from those rules and keep learning new ones. Now, every time you think there's a right way to do something, that's a very uncreative way of thinking, to say it like that, because there always is another way you can do it. For example, in anatomy, you can not only draw anatomy like realistically, but you can also draw it in a comically style or a more animated Disney-like style, and it's very different. Let me illustrate that for you. Think of knowledge as dots. If you learn knowledge that comes with a fixed set of rules, then your dots are kind of connected, but you cannot move them around. So, to be creative, you need to be able to connect the dots in different ways. That's why you have to be careful when gaining knowledge that you don't fixate yourself. You have to learn the rules, but also learn to break them. In that way, you keep innovating yourself and you detach yourself from the knowledge you gain. So, of course, learn anatomy. You have to go through the first step of learning things. Learn the rules, but also learn to break them. That's the most important part when you are in creative domains like filming or making art. Now, if you understand the first point of this, then you probably go ahead and gain new knowledge and try to connect the dots, right? Try to find as many connections as you can make. Well, let's say you find a really good, innovative, new connection you made and you build a system around it. You found the perfect system for you. This perfect system, in general, like perfection, has nothing to do with creativity. So me too, I learned when I was little probably how to learn stuff, like randomly. I don't think no one taught me or something like that. And I took that system with me throughout my whole studying career. The techniques I learned, they worked back then, but they're not working right now. But because I have this fixed system in my head of how I should deal with that problem, I get stuck on it and I'm doing stuff that it's really unproductive. But that is the danger, is that you will live your whole life with a system that you subconsciously most of the time implemented, and that will be very ineffective and you won't see it. And this happens everywhere, not only in school, it happens in art when you learn anatomy and you get stuck on drawing the hands only this one way. Or it happens when you edit videos and you edit in only one style and that is your style and you just edit in that for your whole life. And that's how people get stuck when it comes to creativity. But the two things that will get you out of this very rigid system is being curious and having the beginner mindset. Let's look at Sam Does Art. He's my favorite artist and he does digital art. Let's look at his Instagram to see his whole career. Now, he's been drawing for a long time. At the start, you can see he drew many video game characters and movie characters and mostly drew probably from reference. and his style was very realistic. That's an important thing to keep in mind. Throughout the time, he kept exercising, he kept learning the rules that there were to drawing realistically, and he got better at that. Now, the most crucial thing in his career is, I think, right around here, where he started to break the rules of drawing realistically and he started to go into simplicity. This connection that he made between drawing realistically and simplicity is what made his style very unique. That's what made him authentic. And, well, that's what made him popular. But remember, this is a trap that you can fall in because you already have a system that works because it made him famous. But this is the key point. He kept going. He kept going and he learned from other artists like Gouvet how he drew some aspects of like metal and stuff like that, and he started to implement that even more into his drawings. So Sam Does Art is the perfect example of a creative person that keeps working on his systems and his ways of drawing just to keep this fresh touch on his art. And that is true creativity. That is where authenticity comes from, and that's what in the end got him many followers, and there are just a lot of people that like him, me included. Now let's talk about the very good side effects that come by avoiding the knowledge trap. By being aware when you gain new knowledge and rule sets and breaking the ones you want and keeping some of them and connecting them, that's how you will be truly authentic and creative. And I bet you that the people out there that are well known actually also break rules. And as an experiment, if you're an artist or a videographer or you have anything to do with art and you know like rules of lighting or composition or stuff like that, go out there, look at a movie, a well-known movie or piece of art, and I bet you that there's something that they broke, like a rule that they broke there. Be it lighting, be it composition, be it something else, and that it was a very good and intentional choice. On social media, there's a cycle, right? And I have this concept from Nathaniel Drew. I will link his video somewhere. So the concept is that most of the time people who start with YouTube, they bring something new to the table, right? They are authentic, they have their own systems, they are themselves. And when they become famous for their way of being, there are many people who come and imitate their style or what they are doing, right? When we are in this place where everyone imitates something, a lot of people go under, and that will be like the new norm. It won't be special anymore. And that's why you have to keep working on your system and you have to keep developing yourself as a creative person. This is a forever going process. You will never stop to learn things when it comes to being creative or doing something creative. And by constantly developing yourself, you will keep riding the wave or the trend that you have been building up. And this is the way to stay on top, as on YouTube, on TikTok, on whatever social media platform you are on. And as ironically as it sounds, I think not a lot of people know it, because somehow when we think of creating videos, we are not thinking of creativity, and we are not thinking, how can I make this as special as possible? Not always. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment. Yeah, I think you know how YouTube works. Thanks for sticking with me till the end, and see you in the next creativity video.